the best part about Vietnam are the people. It has the best smells I've had so far in Vietnam, but also the worst. Pollution is one of the biggest issues, I would say. Vietnamese children in particular are like the sweetest ever.
Mừng năm mới. 1, 2, 3, stop. Hello. Today we will have a foreign friends coming to have some tea.
Yes.
And then we talk about her journey in Vietnam, in Hue, and also the Tet Holiday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe firstly, can you introduce a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. I'm Liz. I'm 29 years old, even though I look younger. I recently quit my job in December last year, and I needed a much deserved vacation, and I wanted always to go to Southeast Asia. I always have been fascinated with the culture, with the food, and it's just an entire different world, you know, from Europe. And I did some research, which countries would be best for my journey, and I had 3 countries I wanted to visit. First Thailand, then Vietnam, and then Indonesia. I'm staying in Vietnam for almost 2.5 months, and I've been traveling Vietnam for a month now, and I'm very much looking for the next 1.5 months.
Wow.
Yes.
So what was your expectation about Vietnam, like before you actually traveling? Like while you were looking up for the internet, what do you feel about Vietnam back then?
Yeah. So, I mean, where I grew up in Germany, in Berlin, we have a huge Vietnamese community as well. So I knew Vietnamese food and I already liked it. So I was looking forward to the food. I love coasts and I love islands, you know. And that's why Vietnam already was predestined to be perfect, you know. Then I was also, you know, heard that Vietnamese people are especially very welcoming and kind. And I have some friends who have been to Vietnam who didn't like Vietnam or the people very much and said Thailand is better. And I was like, well, okay. But what I also like, what ultimately was the deciding factor for me was actually because it was also very cheap to live here. And yeah, so I had these expectations that it would be great food. People would either be very friendly or unfriendly. And that it had a rich culture and beautiful landscapes. But when I came here, it was even better and like much richer than I've ever could have thought. Like the food, I knew the food would be good, but what we have in Europe is like the bland and softened version of what actually, like the flavor enhancement and what is actually capable here is out of everything I've ever tasted. But what really surprised me was the variety of drinks, not only tea, but like hot and cold tea and signature drinks. And I mean, I can drink the coffee, but I'm always so amazed by what creative outcomes they have for coffee, like the egg foam coffee, the salted coffee, the coconut coffee, and so on. So the drinks, I love to explore the drinks. But what really is the best part about Vietnam are the people. And I can't understand anyone who said they had like an unpleasant experience with anyone, because I've traveled throughout a lot of the country and people, like at some places they're a little bit more shy, at some places they are a little bit more hectic, but anywhere I go they're always very, very helpful and kind and smiling. And I mean, the most hospitable people I found in Hue, actually. Yeah. But anywhere I went, they were always welcoming, always interested, always helpful.
So what did you try in German, like Vietnamese food in German, and compared to Vietnamese food here?
I can't tell you what I tried because I've been eating Vietnamese food like a lot of other like
Version?
no, a lot of different like different cuisines from all countries because I grew up in such a multicultural environment. So
Oh,
every day would be something else. So over the years I tried so much and I never really remember the name. We
I
have
see, I
like
see.
yeah, but as you know, I tried banh mi and pho here for the first time
Yes.
and it was life changing, especially the banh mi part, you know. It's so different. It's like I don't know, if you've your whole life always just tried a Coca-Cola, a fake Coca-Cola, and then you had a real Coca-Cola and it's like just the real deal, you know.
So, maybe in Vietnam, where have you traveled to?
A lot of people start from Hanoi, which is also good, but I started from Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah.
Then I went to Vung Tau, then Con Dao, then Da Nang, then Hue. That's where I've been so far.
Yeah.
And then I'm going back to Hoi An and Ho Chi Minh again.
Yes.
And then for the last part, it's gonna be Phu Quoc. Yeah,
Phu Quoc Island.
Phu Quoc
Yeah.
Island. Yes.
So, so far, can you share your favorite destination in Vietnam? Yeah, among those cities.
I don't want to like. I want all Vietnamese people to love me. So
Yeah.
I don't want to. And I
No,
mean, I
it's
haven't seen every place, right?
yeah. Personal experience so
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
But I would have to say, but it's only because of my personal preference, of course.
Yeah, yes.
I would say Da Nang takes the first place. I know.
Oh, it's fun.
I know. I mean, I love all places
Yeah,
equally.
yeah, yeah.
You know, but Da Nang would be my number one so far.
So why Da Nang?
Um, First of all, as I already said, I love coasts, and it has beaches, you know, in the city, and the city is like Vietnam, stretched rather than
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
long and bold. So you get from the west to the east very quick. From the airport to my hotel, it was like 10 minutes by car.
Yeah.
And then where I've been, I just walked 10 or 5 minutes to the closest beach. And I could walk around everywhere in this like in the circuit of my hotel and have like such a variety of restaurants and so on and so forth. Where, for example, in Ho Chi Minh, it was, I think, a little bit too hectic to walk around, and it was also more of a distance. You know, you would have to take a bike somewhere. Or, for example, in Con Dao, where there was like no traffic at all, but places would be like very long, and there was not such a variety. And Hue is like comparable in that sense that you have a lot of variety in a small district, but also you know, there's no coast. Like the closest beach I've been to was 30-minute ride.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I couldn't just walk there.
Like for many foreigners, they love Da Nang because of its own location.
Yeah.
It's very good location.
Yeah.
It's really close to the beach.
Yeah.
Really close to the city. Like you
Yeah,
can get everything
exactly.
very
You can
near.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, every location has its advantages and its very own like advantages and signature. You know, for me, Hue so far is the aesthetically most pleasing city. From it has the most beautiful temples. It has the most beautiful, like the imperial city. You can't beat that, right? And there are so many temples and tombs, you know. That's such a signature you can't beat, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
So far, what is the most memorable experience you have like in Vietnam? Most memorable one.
I was asked by a English teacher, Miss Yin, to teach, like to take part of her English class
Oh.
with her students. The pupil were fourth graders, I think. So they were 10, 9, 10. I always found like Southeast Asian kids the most adorable. They look so cute. And Vietnamese children in particular are like the sweetest ever. I don't know why, but they are like so, they're all smiling and always funny and talk a lot, and they're curious and they show their curiosity, you know. And especially, I don't know why, maybe in other countries as well, but I've only experienced this in Vietnam. Every kid tries to use their little English they have to talk to you. They are like, hello, what is your name? Where are you from? My name is, and I'm this close to kidnap a Vietnamese kid. I shouldn't say that on camera. But they were so cute. And they were so adorable and knowledgeable, and that was the best.
Well, where did you take the class? In Da Nang?
It was in Da Nang, yeah.
So far you had quite like a good experience in Vietnam, like overall. So
Definitely.
how about, do you have anything that you don't really like, or that make you
like
feel-
in every country has its own struggles, right?
yeah.
Pollution is one of the biggest issues, I would say, and it's not only bad for the environment but also for the health, you know. And every measurement you would have to take to undo the harm that it's been done gonna cost money, and it's gonna cost the government, and ultimately this gonna go to higher taxes and also you know, the health issues that comes from this. But and for me, one of the best examples, and I mean, I know this is a culture thing, but there are a lot of these plastic and paper gifts, you know, that are going to, I think they go to the temples and to the graves and stuff like that, and after that they're just gonna be burned, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and this is like such a pollution and such a, you know, and I know it's part of the culture, but people spend money, and then they just burn it, you know.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, I got it. It's really hard to solve this kind of problem because it's
Definitely,
related to culture and stuff like that.
And also educational. How
Yeah,
will people,
yeah.
you know, these process will take decades to
even more than decades, I
yeah,
think.
probably. Yeah.
Because you coming during the Tet Holiday, so you can see it more often. Like
Yeah.
people burning
Burn
things
things.
on the street and
Yeah.
every day. Yeah, it's kind of costs a lot of money even for the poor people.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
also need to buy things to
Yeah.
burn because it's
Yeah.
like part of the culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's really hard to solve. Even for my family, we also do burn things.
Yeah.
Like the yesterday I sent you a picture, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's that kind of a ceremony, and we have a lot of paper things.
Yeah.
And we also burn it. Yeah.
It's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Like for me, in my home country, it's there. We have a lot of very, I would say, we have traditions that also cause a lot of trash as well. You know, even though we are an advanced country, and you know, we take economic, no, ecological issues very sincere, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have like very strict trash policies and stuff like that, right? Not at the level of Japan, but still, you know. But still, we trash a lot of the time, you know. And also, Germany is one of the biggest, not only exporters but producers and users of cars, you know.
I
That's like
know.
all these kinds of things. So it's not just a country based problem. It's like all of humanity, I guess. But yeah, these are the things that I just witnessed, and it's the same for Brazil as well, you know. And who has to pay the most? Of course, always the poorest demographics, right?
Okay, so for the next part, let's talk about Hue.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to come to Hue?
Like the honest answer is because a friend of mine also is traveling to Hue. Not now, but later, and I thought like, sounds interesting. Because Hue was not on my plan, on my original itinerary. And because I would have spent a month in Hoi An, and I thought, no, I don't need to spend a month in Hoi An. So let me go to Hue for a week. It's close to Da Nang. I can go there by train. It's convenient. So I came here.
So far, how do you feel about Hue compared to other cities like
I was thinking about this when I got here,
in
actually.
Vietnam? Yeah.
To me, Hue is the is the best example for Vietnam because it combines the worst and the best experience I've had in Vietnam in one, you know.
Oh, really?
For example, the best example of that is the smell. There's no place that has better smells so far. Sometimes I pass by somewhere and it smells of flowers in the garden and plants, or the incense, you know, are very strong and very, or the little fires everywhere. It has the best smells I've had so far in Vietnam, but also the worst.
The trash?
The trash. And I don't know what it is. Like, I don't even want to say this on camera, but somehow there's this. I feel like it's what is it called?
Garbage?
The moist.
See here, like it's too wet.
It's wet, I guess.
It's wet, and then it-
the clothes
house
and
and
the
the clothes.
the fabric smell of moist.
I see.
Like there's
I
this
see. Yeah.
distinct smell that smells of moist that stays in fabric that is just specific here in Hue. I don't know.
Maybe.
And now I smell it on myself even.
Yes, because when you get wet,
Yeah.
and then you don't dry, you
Yeah,
can't dry
yeah,
your
yeah,
clothes
yeah.
really like
Yeah,
completely.
completely,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that will cause
Yeah,
such
it's
smell.
yeah, exactly. That's the smell.
Oh.
Yeah, that I now very much connect to Hue.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. What do you feel about the architecture in Hue?
Like I
The
would
building
say
is the thing.
it has the best architecture in all of Vietnam that I've seen.
Really?
It's aesthetically pleasing, yes. There are so many old buildings, you know, from the French colonized era, which is beautiful, and then the imperial city and all the old temples and stuff like that. That's what I mean. It's aesthetically the most pleasing. I have
So
no
not,
idea.
apart from the pollution, have you ever like got cheated by, like when you buy stuff? Have you
Yeah.
ever got like
Ripped. Yeah.
raped?
Yeah.
Yeah, something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah. The story about the vendor of the rental bike rental would be such an example. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Like in Vietnam already, but this was the only thing I would say that was the most frustrating
oh really?
because it's common for foreigners, at least. I don't know about how about locals, but it's common for foreigners when they rent a bike. The fuel is at like minimal percentage. Like maybe you have 5% left of gas before you have. So the first stop you will have to do is go to the gas station, right?
Yeah.
And that's all right with me. But in this case, I had 1 kilometer to the next gas station, which is not that far. But it only made it to the half of the way, and then it didn't like
Work.
continue. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I get that you want to like, save money on gas, but you have to have enough gas for the people to go at least to the next gas station. And that was like I had to push to the next station. And if it wouldn't have been like if the next gas station wouldn't have been that close, I would have returned it. I would have pushed it back and would have asked for my money back. So that was already really annoying. And then, the place. How do you say that?
The petrol
seat,
station.
No, the seat doesn't close properly. I cannot close it.
Oh, I see.
It's also rather uncomfortable to sit on it, and it already like sometimes it won't really start, which is okay. But the part that was really frustrating, because that can happen with any bike rental place. The frustrating part was I saw their prices on the internet site, the website they have, and it says the cheapest one starts at 80,000 dong, and I asked for the cheapest one, and he offered me one for 120, and I said,
"Did you show him the website?"
No, it's not a lot of money for me, but it's the principle, right? And then I said, "Do you have a cheaper one?" And he offered me this one for 100. I could have still, asked for it even cheaper, but I was like, okay, 100 is fine by me. But that was already sketchy. And then he keeps the ID cards, which also, I mean, maybe this is common practice anywhere, I don't know. But it's like, man, this is my very important document,
Yeah.
And you're a sketchy guy. I don't know if I want to give you my
ID card.
ID cards, but
ID card or passport?
ID card.
I see.
But if I could have also given him my passport, but this one I don't give away.
Of course.
The ID card is just for Europe and Germany, very important. The passport is international, like it's very, very necessary. No, I don't give away my passport. Anyway, and I paid in advance, which is also the first time I've rented a car before, and I only paid in later. So anyway, that was the.
But you pay like 6 days in advance.
Yeah.
Actually, for me, even if I rent the motorbike in Vietnam, because I also travel to other city, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing, I also like the bike. It doesn't have a lot of gas.
Yeah.
Like it's common.
I know, and it's okay, I guess.
Yeah, you need to try to refill it.
Yeah.
When you firstly got the bike.
Yes.
But you need to double check it like filming it around, so later when you got any problem, they won't tell you something.
Of course.
Just to make sure. And then also you need to give them the ID card. Like me too.
Yeah.
I also need to give them the ID card. But I never pay in advance
yeah.
a lot of days. Like maybe you can pay in advance one day.
Yeah.
Like you can rent it daily. Day by day, but not like pay the whole 6 days in advance.
All the other parts are okay, I don't feel ripped off, but I felt really ripped off that I didn't even make it to the first gas station. That's not okay. Like
I see.
I was like, man.
I see.
And the helmet is broken as well. Yeah.
So you.
It's not gonna be a good Google review.
Yeah. So you guys need to double check the bike before renting
the bike and the helmet, ideally. Yeah.
I see. The Tet Holiday is coming.
It is.
So what do you know about Tet Holiday in Vietnam?
I know that it is a special moment in the year, and it's the time of the year where most free time and holidays and vacation comes together.
Yeah.
And it is very I would say everyone can get into their most traditional clothings, which are the what is it again? The dress.
Áo dài.
Áo dài.
Oh yeah.
And what I love is that it's not just the holidays that start on the first day of Tet, but the weeks leading up to it. Everywhere you see red and gold and people wearing their traditional clothes, and being the streets are filled with people taking photos and people talking about it, and everywhere you see Yok Mong Nam
Mời.
and people waiting in anticipation for their vacation and spending time with their family and doing all these traditional things and all the preparations. And I think that's already a special feeling. I cannot wait until the day, really the first days of Tet. But I think I was so lucky that I got to be in the country and see from like for 2 or 3 weeks now, I've been seeing people starting all the preparations and all the things leading up to Tet.
Yes.
And feeling this excitement already. I think that's already very special. Yeah, but then also finding so much beauty, because in Germany we don't have so many traditions anyway, and also most importantly nothing that is very visible. We have traditions around family festivities, but nothing is very visible, at least to me, maybe because I grew up there. But I would also argue we don't have so many decorations, and it's not like a whole country united. And so that's very beautiful. And I find it so interesting how there are traditions that expand the countries. I mean, other countries spend Lunars, New Year's, or have these traditions, but in every country it's a little different.
Have you celebrated the Lunar New Year in other Asian countries?
Never ever before. And I wasn't even like, when I prepared my trip, like I read about this, but I was not at the slightest prepared for what it would really mean. I thought it would be just one, because in Germany we celebrate New Year's, but it's just one day.
Yeah, for me also, I feel the same. The most exciting part for Tet Holiday is the preparation itself.
Yeah, and
So
that's
we
what.
had a lot of tradition and things like that to prepare for
Yeah,
the Tet.
yeah, exactly. I felt that it was more about the anticipation that Tet is around the corner, and then it's just about to start. So I find it really precious.
I see. So let's end the interview with wishing for the new year. So let's say it. Let's say the sentence you have prepared for many times. So
Yeah, it's
1, 2, 3.
chúc
Chúc mừng năm mới. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. And then, yeah, thank you very much for
Thank you.
coming and then sharing with me and people and Vietnamese people and everyone. Yeah, okay. So thanks a lot, and then bye bye. Chúc mừng năm mới.